I got a lot to talk about tonight, to say the least.
Mhm.
So let's get started. Welcome to another wrestling podcast, a Popcast exclusively here on the Popcast Network. My name is Owen. Joining me, as always, is Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Indeed.
here tonight on our wrestling podcast, we're going to be talking about a little bit of everything, to say the least. We're going to be discussing a little bit of Raw, and we're going to go through night 2, night 3, and the television tapings for Ring of Honor. That included the Superstars New Japan Pro Wrestling for War of the Worlds, and we're going to go all in. Plus, we've got some Impact news. All this and more tonight on the Monday Wrestling Podcast? Question mark.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically,
With you getting ready for 205 of Not Live tomorrow.
yeah. It's Wednesday, of course. Me, Mandy, Melissa, and John Paul are going to DVC, so it's kind of like still can't do it. I've been kind of the Wednesday Wrestling Podcast will probably return eventually, but I don't know exactly when. Just keep tuned in to the network for more information.
Mm-hmm. So,
Welcome, Hyro. Hi guys, sorry if chat was dead. We just got live, so welcome, Hyro.
more lively than Raw was tonight. You can tell that they've been in too many bloody countries, can't you?
A lot more lively than I was tonight too.
No, but you can tell that these, not only the crowd, but also the wrestlers are just fucking knackered from
Hyro's,
everything.
well, yeah, I mean it's overstimulation too. I mean, like the product is oversaturated right now, and that's the problem. But the thing is, they got rid of some of the pay-per-views, which is a great idea, but now they're making the pay-per-views even longer, which is a terrible idea. Then again, we don't complain when we watch a 6-hour New Japan show, but that's another story for a longer time. Hyro says, I was hoping
That's happening the week before Money in the Bank.
well, I was hoping you guys would live stream when Backlash happened. It was back trash.
Trust me, you might have had a live suicide from me.
Oh God.
It was sort of that bad. I mean, I wouldn't have gone that far, but I'm saying in a metaphorical sense, it was just terrible.
Let's just put it this way: I was a lot happier doing what I was doing instead of watching Backlash. That's for sure. As
Yes.
always.
Yes.
The true definition of all in. Yes. It's going to be a metaphor for tonight. So,
Everybody in, everybody out. So,
let's get WWE out of the way.
well, let's be honest. Shall we first talk about the thing that overshadowed anything that happened on Raw? Because it happened in America.
The announcement of the fact that WWE now has cold feet and apparently wants to immediately jump to Ronda getting the women's championship right away.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea. It's really not a good idea, especially if they really want to do something with Nia. That's not a good idea.
And like, they announced it because it's the NBC, announcement for their, full schedule for
Yeah, of course.
the year.
Lots of very historical things have happened during that. That's where we found out that Johnny Carson was stepping down as host of the Tonight Show in a year.
That's where we had sort of the confirmation of. I mean, let's be honest. The biggest news today was the Brooklyn Nine-Nine getting rescued.
That was a mistake.
Matter of opinion.
Yeah, I don't like Sandberg, but I do very much enjoy Popstar. That movie's fantastic. One Triple S says, was it really bad compared to Fastlane 2016? Ooh, that show was rough too.
No, this was worse because it went on too long. At least Fastlane went,
One Triple S, we will be talking about War of the World. That's not a problem at all. We're just going to get through what's going on with WWE first. And this is technically the Monday show.
So yeah,
we'll get to it. Don't worry.
They're making out as if it's just so randomly happening on the red carpet. Kathy Kelly's talking with Ronda, and then Charlotte comes in and whatever and does a woo, and Ronda does a half-hearted woo. And then Nia goes, well, you can sort of woo, but can you be a champion? So, and apparently, because this is now law, as in LORE rather than LAW, the champion can challenge whoever they want. Nobody gets an opportunity. The champion just gives them out. And in the way she did it, it was in such sort of like a mean girl sort of like, I don't think you're on my level. And even Ronda's like, I don't think I'm deserving of it. And bloody Charlotte's there going, do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. So that shit's happening. I swear, just because it's a UFC town. And the fact that the week before, CM Punk's in the building.
I think they're making a huge mistake.
Elias Unplugged, coming soon. Just confirmed by Table for Free. I want it fucking now. So the show actually opens with Roman getting booed the shit out of, saying that he got robbed, not by WWE management last week, but by Jinder. And he wants Jinder. That and Kurt comes out and says, I got a call. I shouldn't have denied Jinder a chance because that's what's best for business. So it's like, oh, wow, we're doing the whole Stephanie McMahon is a bitchy boss thing again when it never worked the first fucking time. So yeah, it's going to be Jinder versus Elias versus Bobby Lashley. Reigns wants in, and apparently WWE management has made it clear nobody is getting multiple qualifying opportunities. And Angle says, look, I know you've been screwed. And he's about to talk and many more. And Reigns goes, look, I get it. I'm not upset with you. You're doing what you have to do for your family. I'm going to do what I've got to do right now. And he goes backstage and gets into a fight with Jinder, and Jinder gets hit with a Superman punch and, smacked in the midsection with a crate and stuff. So, all of a sudden, from helping Ronda, Angle was just a bitch boy. So now it's time for Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens.
Fantastic match.
Very good match. I mean, Falcon Arrow on the apron.
Yeah, he
did the motherfucking deal.
He did the deal on the apron. Rollins got a lot of believable near falls going in. Owens had the heat on him for a bit, hits the swanton, but he got the knees up. And then ripcord knee strike, near fall right there. Rollins with the frog splash. He gets the knees from Owens this time with an inside cradle. And then Rollins goes up for the superplex. And this leads to the key crusher from the top. And then out of nowhere, we get the finish because Rollins goes to the outside. Owens comes back in the ring. Rollins hits the blackout and gets the win.
The most important spot in the history of wrestling just got shown on the table for free. Jeff Jarrett smashing the shit out of Beetlejuice with his guitar.
It's one of the greatest videos. I remember watching that live on Nitro when it happened.
I think Owen's favorite version of it is the one that's edited in with the intro for Spring Breakers.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
So then they have the Nia thing, and it's like, So then here come Axel and Dallas. And they want a shot at the tag team champs, and it's like, we're the A team, and Angle goes, that name's already been taken. And I'm going, which tag team was ever known as the A team?
Well, actually, it was a stable in OVW.
Right. Wow, we're going that.
Nick Dinsmore and Flash Flanagan. Yeah, I said it. Continue.
So Dallas goes, okay, well, we're the B team for the best team. And Kurt Angle goes, well, you guys haven't even won a single tag match on your own. And I was like, that's bullshit. I've gone to the records. As a duo, they literally have never won a match.
Yep.
Even on house shows.
Now there has been 6-man tag wins.
No, the only time that they've won was there was the SummerSlam kickoff show with The Miz.
That was a 6-man tag, not the same.
That's it. No, but that's the only win that they've had.
Yep.
As a team. Even with The Miz. And Dallas goes, look, the Miztourage didn't have any wins, but the B team, we're undefeated. And Kurt just says, look, I won't put you in your title match, but as long as you leave me alone for the rest of the night, I'll give you a match later on. And so they're happy enough with that. So now it's time for No Way Jose, Baron Corbin, and Bobby Roode in a Who Gives a Fuck Money in the Bank qualifying match.
I mean, the only thing I can say is right guy went over, but there's nothing. This match was just kind of there.
Yeah.
Like,
also, it's worth noting that Bobby Roode is doing blockbuster moves, which I'm pretty sure is what Seth does, isn't it?
Roode's been doing the flying guillotine since Impact.
Yeah, but it's like, how many wrestlers are now doing the same moves?
2.
No, but you've got Ricochet stealing moves off Seth Rollins. Yes, that is a joke. You got so many bloody people that are like doing the other, the elbow drop from Bayley and Kairi Sane and God knows how many others. There's enough wrestling moves that exist to give people different moves, but anyway, Roode wins the Glorious DDT. He's in.
Not much to this match at all.
Yeah. So Kurt Angle's backstage, stopped by Kevin, saying, I should be champ. I want a rematch. And Kurt says, no. And Kevin's just like, you better do something or I'm calling Stephanie. And Angle's just like, I'm sick and tired of you threatening me. And Kevin's just going, oh, it's not a threat. It's about to come a reality, and takes out his phone and walks off. And Angle goes into the trainer's room, checks on Jinder, and Jinder's like, I can't compete. And Kurt's just like, this is the last night for Money in the Bank qualifying matches. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm guessing that's for the men, because otherwise there's only going to be 4 women as it stands in the Money in the Bank match. So then we've got the B team out with plain white t-shirts with a Sharpied B on them. And then out come Breezango, where we find out the confusing fucking news. The confusing news that Breezango are going to be live tweeting the royal wedding. I can't wait for them. I can't wait for them to live tweet racist stuff against that black preacher that's going to be doing the eulogy or whatever you call it. In some sort of like weird like cock up. And the surprising thing is Dallas and Axel hit a double team neck breaker suplex combo.
Yeah, it's a backdrop suplex and a reverse neck breaker.
And get the win. And immediately their faces are sort of like, wait, we bloody won? What the shit?
I'm going to call it the above average neck breaker. Sorry, Mike Sanders.
And then Charlie's asking them how they're feeling, and Axel's like, B team! Anything's possible. The match was shit, in all honesty. But the aftermath with like the celebration of like we actually won something.
That was cool.
Sort of saved it to some extent. Speaking of saved and not, it's boss time! Because it's Sasha Banks, Natalya, and Ember Moon versus the Riot Squad. Go to fucking sleep. The really sad thing is Sarah Logan really didn't look like she had a good night.
That sucks.
In terms of the quality of her stuff. Sasha should not be around anymore. At least as a face, because it's just like, turn her. Have the Bailey thing. Just fucking do it. Ember Moon really didn't do a lot. Natalya just... She's solid in terms of wrestling. But as a character, at least in the current gimmick, it really don't work. The cat thing can only go so far. In all honesty. So now we get the foam promo with Drew and Dolph. Except you can clearly tell from the way the angle of the camera is that Drew isn't holding it. He's sticking his arm out and somebody's filming it on their phone. Sort of thing. It doesn't look believable. And so the locker room used to be filled with legends. There's no more superstars. The hunger is gone and the passion ain't there. And Ziggler goes, we're not to take food off somebody's plate. And McIntyre says, we're here to flip the table. No, you never send for the man, Drew. You never send for the man. So now it's time for the Deleters of Worlds versus the Revival, which was average. The champs win with the kiss of deletion, which I believe it's being called. I think that the Revival The thing that screwed over Revival was the fact that one got injured and then just as they came back, the other got injured.
Yeah.
So it was just like, well, you're injury prone. Get the fuck out. You know, why else do you think Dolph is sort of nowhere?
Oh yeah, we're talking about the whole snake bitten thing that we mentioned like months ago.
We've God knows how many wrestlers.
Yeah.
Bailey's backstage. Sasha Banks wishes her luck, and Bailey says thanks. And there's still no payoff as to the heel turn. At this rate, Sasha and Bailey are going to get released in December.
It wouldn't be shocking.
And it's not their fault. It's fucking creative being too fucking lazy. So then, Sami Zayn comes out. And he notes, has anybody noticed that I look a lot like Prince Harry? And then, of course, we're bringing up Bobby Lashley. Because they're saying, you know, how Lashley gave him a delayed vertical suplex, which meant he contracted vertigo, which was the first ever case in history. Which meant he missed the greatest Royal Rumble. And I'm going, no, it's probably because you tweeted today that you supported Palestine, considering, you know, who Linda McMahon is involved with at the minute. This guy is like going to WWE, fire me. I'm already fired. Literally like Ric Flair. So then they bring up Lashley. And that stupid fucking interview from last week. And he says, clearly Lashley wants to be me because he's wearing my hat. And you know that's my gimmick. And then he brings up Lashley's sisters. And then he says, Lashley must have something to hide. So I went on Facebook and found them, and they were nothing like Lashley described. So I'm bringing them to be on Raw next week for the expose on the real Bobby Lashley. Oh my fucking God. They brought Bobby Lashley back to get booed the fuck out of. Because this segment that shouldn't have fucking existed is going to get stupid next fucking week. It always does. When they bring in the fucking stupid celebrities. Or sorry, not the stupid celebrities. The stupid actors.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when they did the whole Bailey Alexa Bliss thing? And the bloody best friends from college made out there?
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, also killed Bailey's gimmick. Just, prepare for that, Albany, New York. You're getting fucked in the ass. Speaking of that, Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Bailey. The Hot Three. Also, though, it's worth noting, Bailey is no longer hugging the crowd because of that bloody twat in his 30s that was like, I want to hug you because that isn't creepy. This is why we can't have nice things, guys. And despite the fact who's in this was a poor match as well. You can tell that these people are fucking knackered from going to South America to North America. No, sorry, to South Africa, to North America, to Saudi, to Canada, to North America, to the UK, to Europe, to the UK, whatever. Because they're having to wrestle every night. They're fucking knackered. Thank God I'm not going to the house show tomorrow in Birmingham. I could have done, but one, I'd prefer to see Deadpool. 2, it's cheaper than WWE. And 3, it'll probably be a shit show anyway because they're all exhausted. So they replay Jinder getting attacked. He's now getting his ribs taped up. Wow. And Jinder's like, I'll show everybody I'm the modern day Maharaja, and he's limping down the hallway. And Roman Reigns fucking spears Jinder through polystyrene. And actually, no. I take it back. I've just seen the image. It's legit fucking cardboard. It's legit. They couldn't even just get like polystyrene so it looks sort of dramatic because it explodes more. It's just cardboard that they never bothered to print on they never bothered to paint on the other side, so it blatantly looks like cardboard. Dear fuck. So now it's Balor and Braun versus Ziggler and McIntyre. The most important thing in this match, Strowman smacks at McIntyre, and McIntyre sells it so hard, his feet knock over Strowman's trophy, which means that Drew McIntyre has now got a death warrant on him by the Saudi government for ruining their property. Disclaimer, they may not have put a death warrant on Drew McIntyre. But you never know, considering, and this we can thank Matthew for telling us this on the Cultaholic podcast. Apparently somebody that was not happy with the Saudis having wrestling in their country, said person got arrested for talking bad against the royal family, because of course the royal family organized it, and wanted a person that was dead in the Ultimate Warrior at the show. Huh? So Kurt's on the phone talking to Stephanie and said Roman's been sent away. And Jinder's like, well, you can't compete, but I've got the perfect person to line up to replace him. And he's like, wait, what? No. That's all we get. And Elias is ready to play for the main event, except Kevin Owens cuts him off. So, yeah. Rather than leave it as a surprise, as in, you know, who is the person that's going to be, you know, the partner, it's literally just rubbish. A pretty good match, but you could sort of tell that this was at the end of the third hour and the crowd didn't give a shit. Because there was Walk with Elias chants, and there was sort of, you know, keep in mind at this time they would have been in there for about 2 hours or so.
Mm-hmm.
Give or take, at least. And they probably booed Bobby Lashley because it's like they don't care about him. You know, it's not like he hasn't earned his spot and whatever. So in essence, oh, by the way, Kevin won with a frog splash on Elias because Sami Zayn took out Lashley. So Kevin's in. So I'm calling this now via somebody, whether it be Sami or something else. Kevin's winning the briefcase.
Yes.
Possibly. And then cashing in on Roman Reigns after he beats Lesnar at SummerSlam. because they honestly think that Roman Reigns is Daniel Bryan circa 2013.
If this gives Kevin Owens back the title, I am completely fine with that.
Yes, but if this means that they're trying to position, you know, Roman as the underdog who's getting screwed over by the Authority,
It's
it
not
didn't work
working.
the last time. It nearly hell, it nearly didn't even work with fucking Daniel Bryan because people don't give a fuck about the Authority angle. It only works when it's Vince or Triple H. As soon as Stephanie's involved, people are like, it's just to get your fucking lady balls in a bloody twist, innit? And then, of course, the other big point is this was Backlash. A fucking great intercontinental match to open the show. And the rest was, you don't really have to have fucking watched it. I'm guessing that's fair, Owen?
So I was awake for the only part that mattered. I'm okay with that. I'm tired. I work a lot. I obviously, April and I go to the gym. We run. It's a normalcy. I don't stay awake much during wrestling anymore. But like New Japan, I was wide awake. Granted, for some of those shows at like 3 a.m., I need like an energy drink to keep me awake. But other than that, I mean, I'm a lot more attentive. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
When I care. WWE has not given me a reason to care in quite a while.
Yeah. Therefore, let's talk about other shit.
Yes, I agree with you.
It's free real estate.
Let's talk about Impact first, actually, because I had to find that. One night only, Cali Combat.
Yeah. I mean,
Interesting
the big note is Ellsworth just randomly showed up.
Big Time Wrestling Company is what they partnered with. Of course it is. Haven't seen Luster the Legend from Reno Scum in a minute, and he's back. He got a win in about 8 minutes over Scott Ringer, and one of BCW's guys with TKO. Trevor Lee worked with Chemo, beat him with a running double stomp. We had a random matchup with Scott Steiner teaming up with Teddy Hart against OVE. Okay. Steiner recliner for the win there.
Wait, was this live on Twitch?
Yeah.
That's what was in the fucking Botchamania then. When Teddy Hart had high-fived Scott and everybody thought it was a tag.
Yep.
Which turned out it fucking wasn't a tag. It was just them being friendly. So, you know, confused? Like...
Just a tad. And then we had Ty Valkyrie versus Katarina Lee. Katarina wins with a roll-up after the Road to Valhalla is countered. And then we have James Ellsworth. Grimm's Toy Show's own James Ellsworth. Defeats Cal Jat with the low blow and a super kick. And then we had EYFBO against Killshot and Damac. Sounds like a good match here. Street Sweeper on Killshot for the win. And then LAX afterwards decided they wanted to face Shane and Shen and Ballard because it's California, so they have to face the Ballards. Makes perfect sense, right?
Probably.
And, of course, Street Sweeper finishes off the Ballards. Interesting stuff. Samara loses to Allie with the Cherry Popper super kick. And then Eddie Edwards took on Matt Sydal. Shooting Star Press for the win, of course. Sounds like a good match. And 6-man tag with Andrew Everett, Desmond Xavier, and DJZ taking on Aerostar, Drago, and King Cuerno. Lucha Underground tandem win with Cuerno winning with an Indian Deathlock. And in the main event, Eli Drake losing to Austin Aries with the Gravy Train countered into an inside cradle. Sounds like an okay show. I would have enjoyed watching this live.
Sounds interesting, but I was too busy with Ring of Honor.
Yeah, let's get to that. Oh God, we have lots of stuff saying. Hyro says Dolph needs Drew more than Drew needs Dolph. Yeah.
Yep.
Hyro thinks I'm glad Owens won. He hasn't been winning that many matches. Yeah, this is true. He just signed his contract, so 5-year deal means winning. Yay, new champion. Make Rude win Money in the Make Bobby win Money in the Bank and turn him heel. They need to do something, Bobby Roode. They're not doing anything with him right now. It's ridiculous. One Triple S said bring back the Great Sonata gimmick to New Japan. Don't think that fits LIJ very well, though. Hyro says, hey, Austin Aries has been losing some of his belts. I think he only came out with 3 of them, actually. He's like dropped almost all of them.
Well, he's lost the Defiant one. He's lost the IPW one. That was 2 of the 5, so I think he's got everything else.
And Hyro asks how Ty is going to be able to get into Canada for Slammiversary. She's not going to be involved in the title match.
Unless it's changed, I don't know whether she can.
Now, it sounds like she's not going to be at Slammiversary at all. That's the reason why they're setting something else up with the stuff with Sue Young.
Mm-hmm.
Because Rosemary's out for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
And they're doing stuff with Tessa Blanchard now. And
remember, Sue Young has got the match with Madison Rayne.
Yep.
So there's possibility that Taya isn't even on the on the card.
She probably won't be.
And whether they'll somehow write her in. Then again, if they're not going to do another live show until Bound for Glory, which would be what, October? No, I think. Well, no, they said November. I think, haven't they?
Next tapings will probably be around Horror Nights time, like they were last year.
So if they tape in, when is Slammiversary? July?
I mean, there'll be tapings on the road, I have a feeling, obviously. But, I mean, we probably won't get it.
No, because they're going to do the tapings after Slammiversary, aren't they?
Yes.
Slammiversary is mid-July, isn't it?
That's the Canada tapings, though.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably get it back to
that'll be for like sort of 6 weeks, so probably till the end of August. So, if they do it around sort of Labor Day weekend, meaning those, well, logically they can't, because if Penta and Phoenix are all in,
and they are,
they can't be doing anything there.
Nope.
I mean, it depends. It depends when they do it as to when they can fit it in.
I mean, Bound for Glory. I don't. If Bound for Glory is back in Orlando again, which I hope it is, for my sake, as long as I'm able to make it, I will. But the thing is, and I may have more news about that, and by the time we do this show next week, actually, fingers crossed. But no, it's just. If it returns, then it's usually around Horror Nights time. So Should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So now we move on to War of the Worlds nights 1, 2, and 3, and then the TV tapings.
Yeah, so night 2 from Toronto.
Yes.
We had the Dogs beat the Boys. Then Jay White beat Punishment Martinez to retain the US title. So I think it's official. Jay White versus. They haven't officially announced it yet. It's probably being announced now in Japan.
Yeah.
Jay White versus Juice, more than likely.
I'm telling you, I keep saying this every time. I was wrong with Goto. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm not gonna be wrong about Jay White.
Cheeseburger beat Bully Ray by DQ because Bully Ray, I think, used some sort of weapon. I think it was a chair.
Chain. Oh,
it was something.
Chain.
It was some sort of weapon. And then the great thing is the crowd were like saying to powerbomb him one more time through a table. And because they were doing that, he's going against them. So he didn't. And then they booed him for not doing it. Who's the fucking heel?
Bully Ray, because he didn't listen to the crowd.
No, but then
that way of thinking is what I'm referring to.
Yes, but still. Huh?
Yep, I agree.
Naito beat the Beer City Bruiser. Because of course he should. The Young Bucks beat the Super Smash Brothers.
Heard this match is fantastic.
Well, it's what you can. It's proof.
What you'd expect.
Fucking, that's what should happen.
Well, the Bucks are trying to get him signed. I mean, they even were talking about it on Twitter.
That's what should happen with the Super Smash Brothers.
Hopefully. I think they'll get signed.
So Neil Dashwood and Jenny Rose beat Alexia Nicole and Xandra Bale. Which was a bit random because it's like, well, yeah, the Ring of Honor talents are probably going over. SoCal Uncensored beat Chaos of Roppongi 3K and Rocky Romero. Silas Young beat Hangman Page to retain the TV title. So that match with Aries is happening sooner rather than later. Cody beat Liger. Which interesting, I think that was because Liger wasn't on the other show, so I don't know what's going on there. And then LIJ of Bushi. Well, it was, yeah. It was Takahashi Bushi and Evil and Sanada beating Jay Lethal, Kenny King, Flip Gordon, and Colt Cabana. With Colt, I think they called Colt in sort of at the interval bit after he'd done the Young Bucks Super Smash Brothers match. And BJ Whitmer replaced him on commentary. And then Colt came out for the main event to replace the injured Dalton, which makes sense. And then we get to Royal Oak, Michigan, which also goes by the name, wow, Toronto, the Canadian border people must hate Ring of Honor.
Probably.
Because we might as well mention it now. Jay Lethal got fucked up.
Yeah, big time.
In that main event. So he was out. And then Flip Gordon was legit still in the air by the time the show started. Because flights had been delayed and whatever. So he never showed. Which is annoying. So in the dark match, the Dogs beat Buddy Hanlon and Facade. Then in the opener, Evil beat Shane Taylor. Jenny Rose and Tenille beat Sumi Sakai and Stella Gray. So to obviously build towards, will Jenny beat Sumi? I haven't even read the spoilers yet, but I'm guessing no, but we'll get to that. Marty Skull won the four-corner survival match, beating Kenny King, Matt Taven, and Sanada. Then in the triple threat three-way, Roppongi 3K beat the Machine Guns and the Young Bucks. What?
Very interesting booking.
Silas and the Bruiser beat the Boys. SoCal Uncensored victorious over Cheeseburger, Flip Gordon, and Jushin Thunder Liger. I guess he was there for that then. He just about made it. No, it was that main event, wasn't it? That Flip Gordon wasn't in. So, yeah. So that night too, it says the results that I had. It actually became a 6-man, I think, because Bushi was a second. Because obviously they were a man short with Flip. I think. I can't even remember off the top of my head. Cody beat Takahashi. And then the Briscoes retained the tag titles over LIJ. Of Naito and Bushi, which is a shame. But also makes sense. So then we get to the TV taping. So there will be some spoilers right here.
As always.
In dark matches, Bria City Bruiser and Brian Malonas beat Brian Johnson and Justin Pusa with Miss Jasmine, or Pussa. I don't know how to pronounce it. And Stacey Shadows beat Stella Gray. Then with the main stuff, Karen Q beats Anil Dashwood. Cheeseburger and Jushin Thunder Liger beat the Dogs. Sumi Sakai retained the Women of Honor title against Jenny Rose. Probably see if there was any promo bits on this. I'm trying to get the. Oh, that's good. My results aren't working. I need to go to somewhere else then, I guess.
Hold on. I might have this.
It's saying that my IP's being blocked. I think it's because some stupid shit's going on. There we go. I'll use P Windsor instead. The Briscoes beat Roppongi 3K. Silas Young beat Austin Aries by DQ. Okay, so best in the world's happening. Kelly Klein beat John Perazzo. SoCal Uncensored beat the Kingdom by DQ. Kenny King victorious over Chucky T. Shane Taylor beat Josh Woods. And the Bullet Club overcame LIJ. Somewhat of a surprise there, in all honesty.
Not in the States.
So yeah, Cody came out apparently in the promo bits. Actually no, with the Silas Aries thing, Kenny King stopped the Bruiser from interfering and then clocked Silas with the belt. Aries went for the pin, but Todd Sinclair reversed it and made the DQ. So Aries low blowed Todd and then laid out Kenny King. And apparently for the rest of the night, Todd just got booed the shit out of. So Cody cut a promo mentioning that he's getting an NWA World Title shot, which was announced at All In, which we'll get to.
I wouldn't be shocked if he wins that.
And that he's the leader of the Bullet Club, and he's the best in the world main event will be a triple threat between Cody, the champ Dalton Castle, and Marty Scurll.
Yep.
He said Marty was a subordinate, which brought out Marty, and they agreed they'll settle it in the ring, even if it meant one beating the other. So is Marty joining Team Elite? Is the twist beginning to turn? Maybe.
I think Marty's winning the title.
it's not even working, so I'd have to reset my internet, but I don't really want to do that. Right. So apparently, Bully attacked Flip Gordon now because Cheeseburger didn't work. Who gives a fuck? Why is Bully even here if he's doing nothing? Like, actually nothing. And then after Bushi in The Undertaker, Cody says how All In sold out in half an hour.
Even Cornette tweeted about how good for the business this was.
Which says a lot.
Yeah, it does greatly.
So yeah, the big stuff out of All In is
Rey Mysterio Jr.
Well, I'd say the fact that William Corgan, as he's now has to be known, even though he was introduced as Billy. The NWA, I guess, is All In because Nick Aldis, as long as he's still champ, is facing Cody for the NWA World Title.
I think Cody's winning the title.
So the All In weekend will not have the culmination of Omega versus Cody. So I'm guessing that now has to be Final Battle.
Mm-hmm.
Or Death Before Dishonor weekend.
I'm telling you, it's going to be title versus title. Omega's going to have the IWGP title, and Cody's going to have the Ring of Honor World title, and that's going to be your main event for Final Battle. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm. No, it certainly does. So in terms of the other stuff, I need to have a quick look and see what other shows happen this weekend. I can cover. That's UK. That's... God damn it, I have to delete these numbers. That's UK. That's UK. That was last week. Shikara isn't till next week or this coming weekend for one of their shows. Smash Wrestling. God damn it, I'm having to look through this. Evolve's coming up this weekend. Which, by the way, Evolve got a massive shout out on WWE stuff. Amazingly. So I guess that's happening.
So did Impact.
Well, to some extent because of the
GWN stuff.
The GWN stuff, but no, they literally put a thing up saying Evolve was part of WrestleMania Access Week and promoting the shows that they've got coming up this weekend, which is Keith Lee's last for Evolve before he goes, and everything. I can't even look at the other ones because I haven't even formatted this fucking thing properly. Brilliant. So I'll just go through the UK ones as I can find them because my site for the American one seems to have died on me, which is useful. So Rev Pro's Epic Encounter, which was the other guys from New Japan, that isn't Okada. Josh Bodom attacked Fred Yehai after their match, which Fred Yehai won by submission and brawled with Dan McGee. We also had Adam Brooks beat Shane Strickland. David Starr beat Curtis Chapman to become British Cruiserweight champ. Aussie Open beat the Chosen Bros. Ospreay beat El Phantasmo. Suzuki Goon beat CCK to keep the tag titles. And then Tomohiro Ishii beat Keith Lee to retain the British Heavyweight title. Key thing to note One, I don't even remember where the title changed hands. I guess it must have been at the last show in America, I'm guessing. I never paid attention to that. Apparently, though, Keith Lee and Ishii, like backstage, were talking about bloody One Piece anime because they're both huge fans of it. So it's like, wow, there's actually something that they sort of bond about, which is awesome. Sort of a surprise as well. So Southside and Stevenage had cruel intentions, which may or may not probably didn't involve Reese Witherspoon. I'm just guessing. Just as I try and get some results up to cover. So with Southside, the big stuff from that, Rob Lynch won the Money in the Bank ladder match over. I mean, also in the match was Chris Ridgway, Ricky Knight Jr., Chief Deputy Dunn, Terry Izzett, Matt Cross, and Sean Custom. Ethan Page retained the Southside World title against Carlito. Random pair in there. And Joseph Connors and El Ligero retained the tag titles over the Hunter brothers. And in the main event, Abyss, Bram, and Styx beat GBH of Big Grizzly, Blake, and Dan Maloney in a Monsters Ball match. Because that doesn't make sense. Pro Wrestling Eve's 8th anniversary show. They confirmed at the start there is going to be another Wrestle Queendom, I'm guessing next year, because of how well it did last weekend. Leah Owens is going to be out for 6 months through injury, but will be on commentary for, I guess, the recordings and whatever during the, while she's out. Millie McKenzie beat Killer Kelly, and I think like they face each other God knows how many times now. They face each other in WXW. And also, I think somewhere else. It might have been a previous Pro Wrestling Eve match, come to think of it. Charlie Morgan retained the Eve title over Charlie Evans. Casey Owens beat Nina Samuels. Jamie Hayter over Zoe Lucas. Tony Storm beat Bea Priestley. And Rhea O'Reilly and Livy Grace beat Jetta and Erin Angel. However, during the anniversary celebrations, it was revealed that Casey Owens attacked Charlie Morgan back in January, which left her injured for so many weeks, at least storyline-wise. And there was a giant brawl, and then Casey was saying she wanted a title shot. So some actual good storytelling with women's wrestling. That's how it's done, WWE. For God's sake. So OTT had one of their big weekends. Scrapomania 4 was on Saturday. The big stuff with that, there was a golden contract qualifier match with Tyler Bate, Mark Haskins, and Scotty Davis advancing over David Starr, Shane Strickland, and LJ Cleary. And then in the freeway that came out of it, Mark Haskins won, who apparently, according to Progress, actually lives near me, which I never knew. That's pretty ridiculous. Kings of the North beat Adam Brooks in Aussie Open. Will Ospreay beat Matt Riddle. Sami Zayn retained the women's title over Valkyrie. Ishii beat Jeff Cobb. The Rapture of Zach Gibson and Charlie Sterling retained the tag belts against the Angel Cruisers, a B-Corps and Angel Cruise. Minoru Suzuki beat Keith Lee. And Jordan Devlin retained the heavyweight title over Zack Sabre Jr. In the main event. And then the following night for the Hangover show, at the Ringside Club in Dublin. The big stuff that sort of came out of this, I would say, in a British Rules match, Michael May beat Charlie Sterling by DQ. The big hangover of Jordan Devlin and Sean Guinness beat Keith Lee and Shane Strickland, which from what I saw, Jordan was like, I didn't think that I'd get a chance to face Keith Lee because of, circumstances, but I'm pleased that it did get to happen. Will Ospreay and Curtis Murray beat More Than Hype. And the main event in the No Limits title tournament final, Terry Thatcher beat Scotty Davis to become the new champion. So congrats to him. So IPW did a CZW co-promoted show in London this past Sunday, so yesterday, or where I am 2 days ago. Maxwell Jacob Freeman retained the world title over Chris Brooks. Rob Lynch beat Ethan Page and then said he'd be watching the IPW world title match because he's coming for the champion, whoever it is. Johnny Storm, accompanied by Ashley Dunn, then came out to make an announcement, which became a match where they beat Jay Garner and Sid Scala. Chief Deputy Dunn beat David Starr, with a rematch between them being announced for their Tuesday night Grap show next Tuesday, the 22nd of May. Mark Haskins beat Joe Gacy by submission to retain the world title. The Filthy Club as IPW champs and the Rep as CCW champs. Their match went to a no contest. And then in the main event, because it makes sense, Jimmy Havoc beat Matt Tremont. There was a CZW thing, but I might have to grab my tablet in order to find that. So hopefully there's some people in chat that gives me the chance to find it. So Rev Pro at the cockpit. Travis Banks says he can't come out and compete, but Rob Lewis wants to face him. It actually became a match, which Rob Lewis won via submission. Bobby Tyler and Zoe Lucas beat Ginny and Sierra Loxton. Fred Yehai over Chris Brooks. Adam Brooks over Kyle Fletcher, which ended with Fletcher getting a low blow from Brooks and whatever. Then TK Cooper came out and said, him and Adam are both undefeated. And it's like, we've got to face each other eventually. And Adam Brooks went, maybe. David Starr beat Chuck Mambo by countout to retain the Cruiserweight title. Dan McGee beat Josh Bodom. Then afterwards, Bodom rushed backstage and brought McGee back in, hit a bro breaker in the ring, and then gave him a tombstone on the apron. It's the hardest part of the ring. El Phantasmo, Flashmore and Webster, TK Cooper, and Curtis Chapman beat the Legion of Lords and the Anti-Fun Police, during which Adam Brooks came out to distract TK Cooper. Deputy Dunn and Flash battled to the back as well, but they still managed to win despite that. And Jeff Cobb beat Mark Davis in the main event for that one. I think that's all the notes. So let me see if I can. If you quickly go to the chat, Owen, and I'll see if I can grab my tablet to see if I can actually get the CZW results from America. Hopefully.
Unfortunately, then the chat seemed like it died on me because my computer is going super slow. So my apologies if anyone's saying anything in chat because I can't see anything right now. I'm trying to bring it up, but it's not really working properly. Like usually it's like super fast and like, nope, not tonight. It knows we need to end soon. It's probably what the deal is. Yeah, my apologies that apparently my stomach was growling during the show. I'm sorry, didn't even realize. Way too late to eat something now. Probably just wait and get when I get up in 6 hours for work. Actually, I'll be at work in 6 hours. Get up in 5 hours for work. So. I think if Ashley doesn't return, that might be our show. Let me check. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's finally working. Give me 1 second. I'll pull up chat, see if anybody's in chat today. Anybody left in chat, we'll put it that way. I hope that there's some sort of way to see All In. I really do. I hope there's some sort of a stream or something we can watch so we can actually do a show on it. I mean, we can get results, but that's not the same. The only people that are going to be able to see it are the lucky ones that are going to be in Chicago. I mean, I'd love to get All In. I really would, but it's a little bit far away for me. Not as far as it could be, I guess. See if there's any more chat real quick before we end. Aha. Oh, wow. Yay, we got some chat. Awesome. What's your boy SS? Oh, hold on. Here we go. Oh, we'll get to that one in a minute. Dang, there's a lot here. Sorry, the computer's just super slow. Hyro and 1SSS. I'll get to your comments in a second. Let's see. Okay. Where are we? Can we agree Silas Young is really good with the last real man gimmick? Yeah, absolutely. Silas Young is definitely a throwback, and it's not just a gimmick. I actually think it works really well. I like his George South style mustache. I think Silas is really good in the ring, and he definitely is a good holder of the television title because obviously going back to the NWA and WCW, the television title was what you put on the workers, and even ECW as well. Like you put it on the workhorses of the company, and Silas Young is definitely fitting in that group. So I have no problems with that. Hyro says, "Can we agree CM Punk is all in?" I do know that he is doing that autograph signing at the Pro Wrestling Tea Store in Chicago. I don't know if he'll show up on the broadcast. I know that apparently when they started chanting CM Punk during the Chicago tapings, the fans got Cody to say F Mike Jackson, which of course is going to be the person that is fighting Punk in Chicago for UFC. Hyra says, I wish Jay Lethal was like he used to be when he was managed by Truth Martini. I like what they're doing with Jay on being the elite. The fact that apparently now he can be immediately like snapped into the Macho Man gimmick. I liked it when like Cody basically touched his shoulder and it was like hypnotic suggestion. Like basically it went right to him calling him Dream and everything. I thought that was great. Hyro, as far as I know, Aries has a loose contract with Impact. I don't know. He doesn't have an exclusive contract with Impact because obviously he can work anywhere he wants. But I do know that he has a lot of bookings with the company. I will state right now, without a doubt, that Austin probably has carte blanche to do whatever he wants at this point. Punishment Martinez, Hyro says it's like Baron Corbin, but better. Yeah, I agree with that. No problem. 1SSS says I was right. Okada facing Omega again. I hope he wins because Okada has beat everyone. Yeah, this is when Kenny's winning the title, and it's going to be great when it finally happens. 1SSS says, "Man, when is Bully going to really retire? I'm so done with him. The closest he was successful was when he was TNA champion." If they do something with Bully Ray and Ring of Honor, I think that they're going to benefit. They benefit with anything with his mind for the wrestling business. Like the fact that him being in the office is something that would definitely be beneficial to the company. And Hyra says, heard Garza Jr. and Keith Lee are signing WWE.
Keith Lee for sure.
Garza Jr.'s up in the air right now, but yeah, he's probably going next. Keith Lee's official. Apparently, he got attacked by Shane Taylor. I like that. That's nice. Hyro asked, what is your favorite CM Punk match?
Ooh. Personally, from what I've seen, I still have to say Money in the Bank because of all the storytelling behind it and everything. It just really got the theme right, I would say. Oh, shit. I completely forgot about that.
I mean, depends on what company, I guess you would say. Like, there's so many great ones. Like, I'm going to be old school smart Mark, and I'm going to say Hero versus Punk, 92 minutes. That match is fantastic. Punk's matches with Raven and Ring of Honor. Some classic bloodbaths right there.
I completely forgot.
Punk and Danielson, Punk and James Gibson, the former Jamie Noble.
Yeah. The big news came through from New Japan, didn't it? Harold Meij, I think it's pronounced.
Yeah, the
Became
first
the
ever
new president.
non-Japanese president of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Former president of Tomy.
This guy has no wrestling background at all. That's not good.
If he runs it as a business,
He is.
and lets Gado run it as a wrestling company, he's probably a good choice, in all honesty. I would say.
Wouldn't be bad.
I'm trying to get the results from this because I can't get them now. Because apparently, even though I've reset and everything, it's blocking off access due to PW Pondering Site has done it previously. How I can't see the stuff because it says something about like, you know, I'm blocked or blacklisted, which I think it might be because I don't know, various weird shit. So thankfully, Cave Match is coming to the rescue. So Rey Mysterio had some Lucha Mayhem show in California. B-Boy and Tyler Bateman beat PP Ray. Ray Horus over Steve Payne. Masquerade Dorada beat Black Boy and Black Diamond. That's a bad name, Black Boy. Really? That great. Masquerade Dorada won anyway. Black Boy, also known as Black Destiny. That would sound better. Extreme Tiger and Taya Valkyrie beat Douglas James and Heaven Monroe. And in the main event, Psychosis and Rey Mysterio Jr. beat Brian Cage and Ron Hennigan. Wait, so they only did 5 show matches? That sounds okay, but not as good as hoping. So yeah, CZW Prelude to Violence. There was another CZW show. Frankie Picard beat Smiley at the Coliseum in Voorhees, New Jersey. This, by the way, this show was. Myron Reed and Tame Miguel beat the Private Party. Jason Cade over Brandon Kirk. Kit Osborne defeated Mitch Vallon. Desmond Xavier beat Rich Swann. And Swann actually put over a lot of the up-and-comers in CZW. Josh Briggs beat KC Navarro. Mance Warner beat Connor Claxton, Dan O'Hare, and Stockade in a Chains, Doors, and Ladders 4-way. And then for the vacant Wired title, because MJF, I guess, dropped it, Zachary Wentz is the new champ, beating Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and Wheeler Yuta. So congrats to him. From what I remember, Black G's returned as well for this show, which was sort of being teased anyway because the rep or whatever it is was calling them out. I remember in a CZW video recently. So that makes sense. I'm just seeing if there's anything else. I'm having to go to PW Ponderings. Oh, the Making Towns Classic. Is that anything to do with your boy Brian?
Maybe. Makes sense.
It was in Nashville, so is it?
Making Towns Classic?
Yeah. It was in Nashville, Tennessee at the fairgrounds.
What is this tease?
It was a women's tournament thing.
I don't think so.
Kylie Ray won. But it's like, yeah, bit random.
Something I think he would probably be a part of, but no, he's...
Well, no, just because it says Making Towns Classic, I'm thinking, maybe. Maybe not. Bit confused. So I think that's the only major stuff that went down this past weekend. If I go to Facebook, hopefully if I go to my events list, I'll be able to see the majority of the stuff that's coming up this week. Oh, did you hear the gimmick for the actual, not the next Progress Wrestling show, but the one after?
No.
It's entitled May the 30th, 1978. Or, sorry, I can't even remember. I'll have to have a quick look. So this week, PCW's on Powerbomb.tv on Friday. In Preston. There's some WXW stuff in Hamburg. PWX Wrestling having a show Friday night as well. House of Glory with their Fair Warning show as well. And House of Hardcore 42. I don't know whether that's on Twitch or not. I'm not sure. Saturday, some more WXW in Bielefeld. I might not be pronouncing that right, but I'm not great on the Germans. Queens of Combat have got a show, the Rising Generation League, which is the sort of trainees from CDF Mid-Atlantic. House of Hardcore at the ECW Arena. I'm pretty sure that one's going to be on Twitch, I'd have thought. You've also got Evolve 104 out of Summit Park. Then Sunday, Chapter 69 of Progress Wrestling, Be Here Now, up in Manchester.
Yes. Not the best Oasis album, but one of them.
Well, no, the one that killed them, let's be honest.
Last good one they had.
Well, if you call it that, nowhere near as good as the first two.
Nothing's as great as What's the Story, Morning Glory. It's the best album of all time.
Well, and definitely maybe.
I'd
say
think
they're on the same level.
What's the Story, Morning Glory is the greatest album of all time. Fight me.
I'd say they're on the same level. Because there's some very good.
There's some very good songs. Maybe as much though.
There's some, there's very good songs on both of them.
Yeah.
There isn't as many on Be Here Now, and sort of after then, sort of really doesn't go anywhere. We've also got some WXW in Erfurt. In the Club from Hell. That's a good venue name. ICW's TV tapings in the garage. Ready Player One, because puns. PWX Wrestling, the final chapter. The big deal about is that's the last show that they're having in the Cabarrus Arena and Event Center. They're moving to a different venue after that. And they've been there for at least the last 5 years or so. So it's a farewell to that. And then we've also got Evolve 105 at Knights of Columbus Hall in Monaghan. And then the one I'm trying to remember, the next week, May the 27th, 1978. Apparently, Jim Smallman isn't going to be there for some reason. I don't know whether that's like an in-joke thing, because the idea is this is a show that actually happened on May the 27th, 1978. So they're encouraging everybody to show up in clothes that you would have worn in 1978. So we could be seeing disco people. We could be seeing punk people. All sorts of stuff. That show is going to be fun alone. And there's loads of other shows happening that weekend. But I just wanted to mention that because I think that's an interesting gimmick. But yeah, for Owen, the most important show isn't actually Evolve this weekend. It's the one based off an Oasis album.
Of course.
But then again, House of Hardcore, Owen could actually watch on Twitch. So,
Starcast tickets will go on sale tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. I have some information on ticket pricing that just got dropped just about an hour ago on Twitter. So daily general admission is going to be $20, and the weekend pass is going to be $49 for general admission. Silver bracelet for $59, gold bracelet for $129, and platinum for $179. With the silver, you get all weekend event access. Seating is not guaranteed. The gold gets you secondary seating and access to all weekend events, and platinum gives you access to all events premium seating, the priority seating, and 15% off select purchases. So it's officially announced on Thursday, August 30th, from 5 to 6:30 p.m. The StarCast meet and greet with Cody and the Bucks. 7 to 8:30, it's the Great Debate, the Monday Night Wars, Bruce Pritchard versus Eric Bischoff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I want Tony Schiavone, Ron Funches, and Cassio Kid are going to be doing something from 9 to 10, and then from 9 to 11, and also from 9 to 11 will be the Papa Buck Jam session. Friday, August 31st, we have 10 a.m. to 11:30 Wrestle Crap with R.D. Reynolds. 10 to 1 is going to be a video game tournament hosted by Leva Bates. Noon to 1:30 is What Happened When Monday with Tony Schiavone and special guests. 12:30 to 2 p.m. is going to be Total Nonstop Jarrett with special guests. And 2:30 to 4 o'clock will be the StarCast meet and greets with All In Superstars. On 2 o'clock to 3:30, an empty arena match retrospective with Jerry Lawler and Terry Funk.
Wow.
4:30 to 6 will be a War Games retrospective with JJ Dillon, Tully Blanchard, Lex Luger, and Road Warrior Animal. 6 to 8 will be the all-in weigh-ins and press conference. 8:30 to 10:30 will be the roast of Bruce Pritchard, and 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Spin My Days karaoke with Pritchard and Jeff Jarrett.
Wait, nothing with bloody... nothing with Brian and Dave?
Nope. Saturday.
Wow. Oh, hang on.
Saturday, September 1st is going to be DDP Yoga Workshop, $69, most excellent, from 8:30 to 10 a.m. 10 to 1 is going to be a video game tournament with Leva Bates. 9 to 11 will be the StarCast meet and greets and the All In Superstars. 9 to 10:30, primetime wrestling with Sean Mooney and a special guest. 11 a.m. to 12:30, X-Pac 1, 2, 360 degrees of the NWO with Hall and Nash. 11:30 to 1 o'clock is going to be Medusa Unthrottled with guests on women's wrestling. 1:30 to 3 o'clock, Keeping It 100 with Conan, the Disco Inferno, and Hurricane Helms. 3 to 4:30, The Death of WCW. Does not list anything else. So Brian's probably going to be a part of that because he did write the book after all.
More than likely.
On Sunday, we have an Old Timers Breakfast from 9 to 10:30. 10:30 to noon will be the StarCast meet and greets with the All In Superstars. 11 to 12:30 is The Art of Wrestling with Colt Cabana. And 12:30 to 2 p.m. is Why It Ended with Robbie E. There's going to be free charging stations, video game stations, Hall of Champions, championship title belts from across the world. There's going to be a Viking Hall photo booth. It looks like you taking a photo at the ECW arena. And even Joel Gertner is going to be introducing you for a small fee.
Uh-oh.
You can get pictures in the Hall of Champions with your favorite superstars for a small fee. Call play-by-play matches for a small fee with Tony Schiavone, Sean Mooney, Joel Gertner, or others. What Happened When studio phone booth, where you can do your Best Horseman promo, American Dream promo. You can basically do this. And Tony Schiavone's going to interview people throughout the weekend for a small fee. There's going to be a Stanford locker room phone booth, like the old heel locker room in New York. Sean Mooney will be interviewing you, let me guess, for a small fee. Wall of Fame is going to be collectibles, rare in-ring used collectibles from around the world, a photo booth with superstar cutouts from superstars of All In and the StarCast, and Podcast Movement's pop-up studio where you can create and produce your own podcast with your friends. All of this just got announced minutes ago.
Yeah, along with the, and it was sort of, it's brilliant. StarCast 18 retweeted it and whatever. And it said an announcement incoming, despite the fact we already knew anyway, because it was in the bloody thing that StarCast tweeted out. Papa Buck's Jam Session.
Yep.
Matt Coon and Dylan Spears, because that decided to be separate. So the pricing.
I just did that.
You did that?
Yep.
$20 general admission?
Yep.
That ain't bad.
No, it's not. I mean...
Oh, and a new Being the Elite is up.
Yeah, I watched it right before we went live. Right before Raw. Actually, I watched it beginning of Raw, actually, because Raw's not important. So... I mean, I really want Yeah, you can go to Being the Elite on Pro Wrestling Tees for new Being the Elite merchandise for All In. I'd love to go to Daytona Beach for the CEO show, but I don't have a way to get that. That's too far away.
Too far.
I wish I could, though. I'd love to. But I think on that note, that's the show.
Very probably.
Oh, yeah. So, got a lot of new content on the network available. We have brand new Ashley content with Snack Stash and Gaming with Ash is returned.
With the worst thumbnail I've ever seen.
Yeah, it happens.
Orgasm face. It's like
Ashley will probably be back Wednesday since we're not doing a show on Wednesday. So
I'll probably put something together, even if I have to sort of scrape together more food out of the cupboard.
it's fine. Where can we find you on social media, Ashley?
I'm on Twitter at Ash is my name UK. That is finally happy that he's got his Call of Duty Infinite Warfare soundtrack after various issues. So, thanks to Activision for eventually sort of fixing it for me. Okay, that sounded wrong. I should have said fixing for me.
Follow. Oh boy, follow me on Twitter at Sir on Disney. Follow the network at Popcast Network. Check out our Facebook fan page of Popcast Network. That's going to be your show tonight. And as always, in a world where there are a billion wrestling podcasts, we're very pleased that once more tonight you have chosen a podcast. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank everyone for listening. Always remember, Popcast Network have been all in since day one, and you can read anything you want into that because I certainly have been, and will remain just the same. Fingers crossed for the rest of the weekend because some really cool things could be happening my way very soon in the horror side of things. Fingers crossed this time around. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
He did a podcast where he didn't even mention Bill and Ted Face the Music is now official.
HHN 30 is not too far away.